home for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesties above the fruited plain.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee.
And crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Come on, girl, come on, Sal. I've got a mule and her name is Sal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. She's a good old worker and a good old pal. 15 miles on the Erie Canal. Completed in 1825, the Erie Canal made New York City the Big Apple it is today.
1830 ushered the Indian Removal Act. One by one, Indians were forced west. The saddest of all were the Cherokees, many of whom were Christians. Over 4,000 Cherokees died on the Trail of Tears.
I'm Davy Crockett, and it's 1836. I must say, as to what I've seen of Texas, it is the garden spot of the world. Remember the Alamo!
Remember the Alamo!
Well, I'm headed west on the wagon trains to the land of promise. It is, after all, America's manifest destiny to occupy the entire continent from sea to shining sea. Westward expansion, 1841.
Over the American River!
I'm a 49er who got struck terrible by the fever, and I'm rushing to California to cure my sickness with gold dust.
It wasn't me, it was the Lord. I always told him, I trust you. I don't know where to go or what to do, but I expect you to lead me, and he always did. Harriet Tubman, 1850.
I have shown that slavery is wicked. Wicked in that it violates the great law of liberty written on every human heart. Wicked in that it mars and defaces the image of God. Wicked in that it contravenes with the great laws of eternal justice and tramples in the dust all the humane and heavenly precepts of the New Testament. My name is Frederick Douglass, and it is 1855.
Mr. President and gentlemen of the convention, a house divided against itself cannot stand. I believe this government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free. I do not expect the union to be dissolved. I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. I am Abraham Lincoln, and it is 1858.
Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on.
I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have builded him an altar in the evening dews and damps. I can read his righteous sentence in the dim and flickering lamps, and his day is marching on.
I may be compelled to face danger, but never fear it. And while our soldiers can stand and fight, I can stand and feed and nurse them. I'm Clara Barton, and it's the Civil War, 1861 to 1865.
The Yanks, Billy the Yanks. Johnny Rebs, Johnny Rebs, Johnny Rebs, Johnny Rebs.
John Henry was born with a hammer in his hand, but I was born to watch this last golden spike in the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10th, 1869, in our fine state of Utah. 10 days from now, New York will be California.
D-O-N-E.
Done.
The second industrial revolution was built in steel, electricity, and oil. God gave me my money. I believe the power to make money is a gift from God, to be developed and used to the best of our ability for the good of mankind. My name is John D. Rockefeller, American Age of Industry.
Howdy, y'all. I'm Annie Oakley, and here's a little cowgirl wisdom for ya. Number 1, treat a woman like a racehorse, and she'll never be a nag. Number 2, don't let your yearnings get ahead of your earnings. And number 3, aim at a high mark and you'll hit it. No, not the first time, nor the second time, and maybe not the third, but keep on aiming and keep on shooting, for only practice can make you perfect. Yee-haw! Hi, I'm the mother of American invention. Among my children are George Washington Carver counting peanuts,
Alexander Graham Bell talking to himself, Samuel Morse sending coded signals, John Pemberton drinking Coca-Cola, the Wright brothers taking flight, and my son, Thomas Edison, flicking the light switch on and off.
I have not failed. I have just found 10,000 ways it won't work.
I am John Muir, father of America's national parks, and everybody needs beauty as well as bread, places to play in and pray in, where nature may heal and give strength to the body and soul alike.
Here is your country. Cherish these natural wonders, cherish the natural resources, and cherish the history and romance as a sacred heritage for your children and your children's children. Do not let selfish men or greedy desires skin your country of its beauty, its riches, or its romance. Bullet!
Bullet!
Gas! Gas! Quick, boys! An ecstasy of fumbling, fitting the clumsy helmets just in time. But someone still was yelling out and stumbling, and floundering like a man in fire line, dim through the misty panes and flickering light. As under a green sea, I saw him drowning. In all my dreams, before my helpless sight, he plunges at me, guttering, choking, drowning.
The world must be made safe for democracy. The Great War, 1914 to 1918.
It was we the people, not we the white male citizens, nor yet we the male citizens, but we the whole people who formed the Union, 19th Amendment to the Constitution. Women have the right to vote.
The roaring 20s were the bee's knees, the cat's pajamas, and all that jazz. Whoopee!
Whoopee!
Don't it feel like the wind is always howling? Don't it feel like there's never any light? Once a day, don't you want to throw the towel in? It's easier than putting up a fight. Empty belly life, rotten, smelly life, full of sorrow life, no tomorrow life. The Great Depression, 1929 to 1945.
Hi, my name is Albert Einstein. It's 1931. The ideals which have led me all my life, in time after time, given me new courage, face life cheerfully, have been truth, goodness, and beauty. I found it. E equals MC squared, and don't try this at home.
I'm Jesse Owens, and it is 1936. I wanted no part of politics, and I was not in Berlin to compete against any one athlete. The purpose of the Olympics anyway was to do your best. As I learned long ago, the only victory that counts is the one over yourself.
In 1940, Winston Churchill said the words that Americans began to live after their day of infamy on December 7, 1941.
Even though large tracts of Europe and many old and famous states have fallen or may fall into the grip of the Gestapo and all the odious apparatus of Nazi rule, we shall not flag or fail. We shall go on to the end. We shall fight in France. We shall fight on the seas and oceans. We shall fight with growing strength in the air. We shall fight on the beaches. We shall fight on the landing grounds. We shall fight in the fields and in the streets. We shall fight in the hills. We shall never surrender.
We can do it. World War II, 1941 to 1945.
My name is Eloise Page, an espionage operative for the CIA during the Cold War, which lasted from 1945 to 1989. How do you tell a communist? Well, it's someone who reads Marx and Lenin. How do you tell an anti-communist? It's someone who understands Marx and Lenin.
Freedom is not free!
Aloha avakea kako. Good afternoon, everyone. On August 21st, 1959, President Eisenhower signed an official proclamation, and Hawaii became the 50th state in the Union. Until we meet again. My name is Katherine Johnson, and I will have you know, on any given day, that I compute more than 10,000 calculations by cosine, square root, and lately, analytic geometry, by hand. There are 20 bright, highly capable Negro women in the West Computing Group, and we are proud to be doing a part for our country. So yes,
They do let women do some things at NASA. I was very politically opposed to the war, but when I weighed my political convictions against my response to my aunt's paperboy, I knew I had to go. I knew I was needed there to help boys like him.
The Vietnam War waged from 1963 to 1975. The hostilities in Vietnam, Laos, and Cambodia claimed the lives of more than 58,000 Americans. 2,500 were prisoners of war or missing in action. Many of these were airmen who were shot down over North Vietnam or Laos. Another 304,000 were wounded.
How many times can one man turn his head and pretend that he just doesn't see? How many years must one man have before he can hear people cry? How many deaths will it take till he knows that too many people have died? The answer, my friend, is blowing in the wind.
The answer is blowing in the wind.
All right.
I'm Bill Gates, founder of Microsoft. Be nice to nerds. Chances are you'll end up working for one.
My name is Sandra Day O'Connor, the first female Supreme Court Justice. The power I exert on the court depends on the power of my arguments, not my gender. 1981.
Hi, I'm Sally Rye, and it's 1983. The view of the Earth is absolutely spectacular, and the feeling of looking back and seeing your planet as a planet is just an amazing feeling. It's a totally different perspective, and it makes you appreciate actually how fragile our existence is. 4 years later, President Reagan says to Russia,
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall!
A line has been drawn in the sand. Withdraw from Kuwait unconditionally and immediately, or face the terrible consequences. The goal for 1991.
The deliberate and deadly attacks which were carried out yesterday against our country were more than acts of terror. They were acts of war. The war on terror started September 11, 2001.